This week, Major League Baseball lost one of the greats, Tony Gwynn, to cancer. Will the baseball world ever see a competitor like this again? And will anyone really believe in America's favorite pastime after so many drug scandals? Let's talk it out. Now, joining us now is Frantz he's a sports announcer. We also welcome John Galucci Jr. He's a medical coordinator of Major League Soccer and president of JAP Physical Therapy. He is also the author of Soccer Injury Prevention and Treatment. And of course, Dee Dee's going to stick around, my co-host and friend. Thank you so much for being on the show. This is your first time.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We want to just talk about drugs in sports to just kick things off with, since it's soccer season. I threw that in there. But we want to talk about, of course, the passing of Tony Gwynn, and what a wonderful baseball player. I'm a huge baseball fan. But we're looking at tobacco and tobacco use and chewing tobacco. Just your thoughts.
Well, you know, the unfortunate thing is we learned so much about the harmful effects of tobacco, no matter if it's smokeless or smoking. And it's amazing that the common sense of the American people and across the world don't take those precautions very, very seriously.
Well, you know, it was funny. I was talking to our producer, Alyssa, and we were talking about the old baseball cards, and you could see like the big wad of chewing tobacco with the players, and it was certainly acceptable. I'm going to pose this question to all of you because this is just a personal question. There you go, right there. Yep. What are your thoughts in terms of, now, chewing tobacco we know is bad for you, but it's not harming anyone else? We live in the United States of America where you're supposed to have some freedoms. Dee Dee, your thoughts on this coming under scrutiny now?
Well, I think it's up to the individual, but my only problem is you know, they have bubble gum in a pouch like it's chew. That's not good. I mean, little kids are thinking that's okay, because it's almost like it is a candy or something.
Dee Dee, they used to have candy cigarettes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know,
but
they've cracked down on cigarettes so hard, but you hear nothing about chewing tobacco. So it's just such an interesting contrast where they just have left chewing tobacco alone for whatever reason.
Well, you know, I mean, tobacco in this country dates God knows how far back.
Back to the spittoon.
When it comes to baseball, and you could probably when it comes to baseball, there's a culture of chewing tobacco. It's not just you're just chewing this tobacco and you're, you know, feeling good and feeling hump. There's a culture in it. And so, you know, I think with Tony Gwynn passing, the question is, does that culture have to continue? Is that something that's
I know
healthy?
A-Rod used to have the sunflower seeds.
So the culture of baseball is definitely one that people used to do tobacco, either chew or spit, whatever it was, snuff, they were putting it in their mouth. But what we've seen is a huge reduction across all baseball. It used to be a component of 33% of all baseball players professionally were taking it. Now we've seen a decrease of under 15%. But again, it goes back to the component of not just the aspect of the cancers, throat cancer, gum cancer, tongue cancer. It goes to the fact of losing your teeth, having infections continuously, possibly causing pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer. So again, it goes back to really teaching the population from the youth sports, getting rid of the different items that are teaching the kids how to chew tobacco and bring them that direction, and truly just banning it. I mean, although we live in America, there's a component of it's not good for us, it's too costly on the healthcare costs, so why would we allow it in any type of professional sport?
That's not your business, though. I mean, you know, I from what you said, I mean, when it's smoking, that does, the secondhand smoke affects everyone else. It's up to you. If you want to chew every day and die from it, you know, and Tony Gwynn did. I'm a smart man, and that's very sad and tragic, but that was his decision.
Yeah. But a professional athlete should not be an advocate for something that could harm people.
They can do whatever they want to. That's on their own time.
I don't think he was an advocate of it. I think he was
wasn't.
just part of that culture of which, you know, I've played baseball, and sure, I've been asked, hey, do you want some of this tobacco? And I'll be like, no, dude, you know, I think I'm okay. I chose gum instead, but that was my choice. Again, it was a choice. But there is a responsibility to inform people about it.
And it just gives you a little rush for those of us who haven't chewed. I don't think you have, Dee Dee.
Nor will I date a man who chews, by the way. I think it's disgusting.
But it just gives you that little rush and a little adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm asking you two gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the effects of nicotine is similar to smoking. You get a little bit of a rush, or you get a little bit of feeling of a little bit more energy, things like that. But again, it is habit forming. As we know, nicotine is addicting. So, you know, basically, as you start to take it, it becomes addictive, and then you get the long-term effects of it.
Let's talk about some of the greats in all sports, not just baseball. We have somebody like Derek Jeter. We have somebody like Ronaldo. We have LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, some of these great players. What made people like Michael Jordan and these greats stand out above the rest?
Oh, well,
it's a loaded question. You can go anywhere with this one. Frantz?
Skill.
I mean, yeah, it's clear. I mean, if you are LeBron James, if you are Michael Jordan, if you are Ronaldo, if you are Messi, if you're Tony Gwynn.
Give us a Michael Bradley. Give us
Michael
a Tim
Bradley.
Harris.
Sure. I mean, these guys are skillful. That is what makes them great.
But discipline, I mean, Tony Gwynn, we were talking to Dr. Bart earlier, he said that he would watch the replays and watch the pictures so he knew exactly how that ball was going to come in. So it is also discipline.
There's discipline.
Oh, go ahead.
There's discipline, but there's also, being able to take it to the next level based on your skill level, based on your natural talent, based on your natural athleticism. I mean, if you look at a kid like Michael Bradley, who was on a national team, he's a kid that had good skill, that definitely has the discipline and brought it to the next level. There's the players that have the same skill that don't have the discipline to bring it to the next level. So you're right in that, but I definitely think that the component of the reason why they stand out is they work so hard, but they have natural ability as well and great skill.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating how they have the discipline to play, but they don't have the discipline to not chew,
Right.
or maybe take the steroids or whatever else. It's interesting with that personality, as Dr. Bart, I'm sure, would say. They're winning personalities, but there's a flaw there, which there usually is. But strange that they would do that, especially when they need their help to play.
Well, we're going to talk about soccer in just a minute, but I also want to talk about the New York Yankees, really close to here. You had two players there on that left field side there. You had A-Rod and you had Derek Jeter. Both were very skilled players, but there was one was lacking something, a lot of the experts will say, in terms of skill, whereas one wasn't as disciplined.
Well, I mean, again, if you look at A-Rod, you look at Derek Jeter, they're two great baseball players. But when you look at Derek was definitely a true professional, truly understood the discipline component of it to carry the longevity of his career. When you look at Alex, you look at a component of a guy that saw his shortcomings and unfortunately decided to go different directions to make up for those shortcomings. So that's my personal opinion, but truly that's how I see it.
I think also when you're a professional, there are certain limitations, especially when your time of expiration is coming up. I think you're seeking out naturally for an additional help, whether it's going to be in the form of legal or illegal. You feel like you have this duty to continuously perform, and unfortunately you have these choices, and Alex made his, and like other professionals.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about soccer right now, and World Cup mania, if you will.
Yes.
Well, I'm not too happy today,
Why
obviously,
not?
because Italy lost. So
I think that's a
But the
wonderful
U.S.
thing.
has a great opportunity.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's all
the
I was
US
going to
has-
say.
It's not just the U.S. I think the CONCACAF has showed something to the world in this World Cup. If you look at these teams, Costa Rica, Honduras, USA,
Argentina.
Mexico, these are the teams that are in the CONCACAF. These are the teams that have sparked a revolution somewhat in this region, in this hemisphere. They're actually, I believe it's 4-1-1 in this World Cup, which is fantastic for them. And I think it's a statement. It's a statement that you cannot underestimate this region. You can't expect them to make some more noise, as we have seen with Costa Rica. Who would have thought Costa Rica
they
to
were
be on top of the group? Who
No,
would have
no,
thought
but
that?
they played fantastic. I have to say, if you watched Italy, I mean, I was like, are you guys going to play?
They
Are
were
you going
very
to show
flat.
up?
Yep.
Hey, the top dogs are out. Anything can happen. That's why it's so exciting. And I have to point out, too, that these soccer players, we were talking about a fitness segment before, oh my goodness, they're in such good shape. Versus, sorry, but some of these baseball players, they're just plain fat. I'm sorry, they're not in good
Soccer
shape.
players won't chew tobacco, so I think you're safe on
Yeah,
that.
the soccer players, they're just in great shape. No tobacco. They're winners for sure.
Oh, John, also, tell us about your book.
So I have a great book out that just came out about 3 weeks ago called Soccer Injuries Prevention and Treatment. It's a book that's geared towards parents, coaches, and players. Very excited about it. Demos Health is publishing it. You can get it at Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com.
I mean, in terms of sports, in terms of the sport that has the most injury, is it soccer? I mean, you look at these guys running into each other. They have no pads like football, but then again, these guys in the football arena are huge.
As we know statistically, football has more injuries just based on collisions. But if you look at the component of youth playing, soccer right now has taken over America, taken over the world as far as youth players. And the rationale of writing the book was really to give the coaches and the parents and the players an understanding of decreasing common sense injuries, decreasing the component of overuse injuries, and understanding what youth injuries are out there and how to prevent them to keep the kids, to keep the players, to keep the high school, college, and professionals on the field playing.
Give us a couple of quick tips in terms of keeping kids safe.
Well, biggest thing is hydrate, nutrition, proper conditioning. Those are the best ways to stay out of the emergency room, and make sure you understand the rules of the game. If you understand the rules of the game, those are 4 great tips to stay on the field and basically stay out of the emergency room.
Do you think we're ever going to see young kids wearing helmets to play soccer?
I don't think so. But I mean, it is something of concern. I think also when you're looking at a world event such as the World Cup, and you see an Alvaro Pereira from Uruguay getting knocked in the head, having a concussion, and having the medical team say whether he's not on, and seeing the player retaliate and want to go back into the game, being unconscious for a good 3, 4, 5 seconds, God knows. I mean, it is something that kids should definitely be aware of, and I think that's something that should be addressed.
And we've evolved tremendously in the last 6 to 10 years on concussion management, on concussion diagnosis. I mean, us here in the United States, Major League Soccer has an entire concussion committee that has evolved the treatment of concussions, the identification of concussions. And what's happening right now is it's gone from the professional sports to college, high school, and now youth sports, that we're actually doing lectures to children to teach them the signs and symptoms and how to basically treat concussion. So I think there's a lot of great information out there. We have a whole concussion chapter in the book.
Okay. Frantz, a very quick question. Your favorite World Cup player and why?
Favorite World Cup player? Wow.
Yep, here we go.
I'll have to go with, wow, that's a rough one. This World Cup took me by surprise, to be honest. I've been wrong in probably most of my predictions. I don't know about you, but I've been just torn apart. I'd have to say, wow.
Uh-oh, I stumped him.
Wow. Hey.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm a France team. I love France. I mean, I'm just impressed with what Les Bleus have done. They're not the same team from 4 years ago. They've come back around. They play, beautiful soccer. They're playing counter-attacking football, very quick on the flanks. They don't have Ribéry. They've shown that they don't need Ribéry. They don't need Nasri. Deschamps did a very good job bringing this team together and the cohesiveness. I like France. Player, Benzema maybe. Benzema.
And, okay, John?
Same question?
Your favorite player, very quickly.
Favorite player is Tim Howard, United States of America goalie. He is an unbelievable stud, and he's going to carry the U.S. team as far as we can go.
John Brooks. He was the guy who made that 32-second goal. And so I think he got the United States started.
Yeah,
so
John
Team
Brooks.
USA, John Brooks.
You're an American.
That's right.
All right.
I try.
And there's John's book, Soccer Injury Prevention and Treatment. John Galucci, we thank you for being here, Frantz, as always. Thank you very much. And we will be right back. Lots of fun heading our way next, including a look into Toronto Mayor Rob Ford's new musical.